Welcome back to Netrush Report, your home for tennis drama, rivalries, and the untold stories that keep the sport alive beyond the baseline. If you live for the fire, the controversy, and the raw emotion of this game, hit that subscribe button and join the rush. For much of this week in Beijing, Daniil Medvedev looked like the unstoppable version of himself we've seen in the past. The Russian star, once ranked world number 1, breezed into the semifinals without dropping a single set. He dismantled Cameron Norrie, dispatched Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, and outlasted Alexander Zverev. All quality opponents and all without breaking too much of a sweat. But the semifinal was different. His opponent, Lerner Tien, may have been the lowest-ranked player Medvedev faced all week, but the American teenager came to fight. He pushed Medvedev from the very beginning, racing to a 4-2 lead in the opening set. Still, Daniil showed his trademark resilience, clawing his way back and taking the set 7-5 with a late surge. The second set followed a roller coaster script. Medvedev looked in control at 5-3, even serving for the match. But then the nerves, or perhaps fatigue, set in. For games slipped away in a row, and suddenly the match was headed into a deciding set. That's when the chaos began. At the very start of the third set, Medvedev's body betrayed him. Cramps began to set in, limiting his movement and forcing him to bend over his racket between points. He lost his opening service game, and on Tien's serve at 30-15, he hardly moved as the teenager fired an ace down the tee. It was a routine point, until the umpire, Adel Nour, stunned the stadium with an announcement. Code violation, best effort, Mr. Medvedev. A violation for lack of effort. In professional tennis, it's almost unheard of. Medvedev was stunned. He immediately confronted the chair, demanding the supervisor be called. His frustration boiled over, not just at the call itself, but at what it implied. In his view, he wasn't giving up. He was physically struggling with cramps. Talking to the supervisor, Medvedev made it clear he was doing everything in his power to stay on court. He accused the umpire of effectively pushing him to retire, suggesting that if he couldn't move at full speed, Nour would rather see him quit than fight through the pain. The exchange grew heated. Nour tried to defend his call, claiming that even if Medvedev wasn't feeling well, he could have shown more intent, more visible effort. But Daniil wasn't buying it. He told the umpire flat out, "You can't decide if I'm giving my best effort or not. Only I know that." Ironically, the very stoppage caused by the dispute gave Medvedev a few extra minutes to recover from his cramps. He even admitted later that the break bought him time. Still, his body wasn't cooperating. Down 0-4 in the final set, the Russian finally retired from the match, walking over to shake hands with his opponent and then sarcastically telling the umpire, "Good job." The incident has sparked massive debate in the tennis world. Was Adel Nour right to make such a bold call? Should umpires be allowed to decide whether a player is truly giving maximum effort, especially when injury or cramps are clearly a factor? Or did Nour overstep, unfairly punishing a player who was visibly suffering but determined to fight on? For Medvedev, this clash was more than just a moment of frustration. It was a throwback to the fiery side of his career that many thought he had left behind. Fans remember the US Open tirades, the sarcastic applause, the epic press conference quotes. And in Beijing, for a brief moment, that Medvedev returned. Still, this wasn't just about personality. It was about fairness, respect, and the thin line between effort and ability. Medvedev's argument is simple. Nobody can measure how hard a player is trying except the player himself. And when you're cramped, exhausted, but still refusing to quit, that is effort. On the flip side, Nour's decision raises questions about how officials should handle matches where one player is clearly compromised. Is it fair to the opponent if a player is barely able to move? Or is it more important to respect the competitor's willpower to continue? One thing's for sure, this wasn't just another semifinal. It was a controversial moment that will stick in the memory of both fans and players for a long time. And for Daniil Medvedev, who's been working hard to rebuild his consistency and reclaim his spot among the very top of men's tennis, this will be yet another chapter in his complicated, dramatic career. This is the kind of drama that makes tennis more than just a sport. It's theater, it's controversy, and it's raw emotion. Daniil Medvedev clashed with an umpire, battled through cramps, and still left us with a story that fans will argue about for weeks. What do you think? Was Adel Nour justified in giving that violation, or was Medvedev unfairly treated? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to NetRush Report, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big story from the world of tennis. Until next time, keep living for the drama, the battles, and the rush.